On Monday night's episode of The Voice Season 27, Lucia Flores-Wiseman earned a rare four-chair turn from the four coaches with an unexpected song choice and a captivating sound during her blind audition. Once you've seen her performance, it's easy to understand why. Lucia Flores-Wiseman sings Angela Aguilar's La Llorona on The Voice Season 27 Blinds. Lucia Flores-Wiseman on The Voice Season 27, Episode 4. Photo: Christine Bartolucci/NBC. Dressed in all purple, the recent college grad accompanied herself on the guitar while she sang La Llorona by Angela Aguilar, which is entirely in Spanish. Flores-Wiseman is Mexican-American on her father's side and cites Brandi Carlile as an inspiration, not least because they are both from Maple Valley, Washington. The first coach to press his button was Adam Levine, followed by Michael Bublé, who shouted, "Vamos," meaning "let's go." Next was Kelsey Ballerini, followed by John Legend, who greeted Flores-Wiseman with a "Hey girl, what is your name, you magical human being?" Ballerini asked Flores-Wiseman after her performance, admitting, "I was very teary." "Well, no notes. You have a God-given voice." Levine added that it's very rare that someone has it all, but good you are. Meanwhile, Bublé made a bow-down gesture and praised Flores-Wiseman in Spanish, which he is nearly fluent in after being married to Argentine Luzana Lopilato for 15 years. Bublé joked that marrying Lopilato and learning Spanish was part of the super-long game to recruit Flores-Wiseman, only to have it amount to nothing when she eventually chose Team Adam. There are very few instances on reality television that actually distinguish themselves from the usual. This is because we live in a society where raw ability is frequently tempered by expectations. During the 27th season of The Voice, a contestant named Lucia Flores-Wiseman took the stage for her blind audition. This was undoubtedly one of the most memorable moments of the season. Lucia gave a performance of the hauntingly beautiful song La Llorona, which she performed with a voice that was so charming and so engaging that it virtually wove its way through the hearts of every listener. An instant four-chair turn from the coaches, all of whom were completely taken by her vocal power and emotional depth, followed, and what happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. It is well known that the blind audition stage on The Voice has the power to differentiate between those who are merely talented and those who possess something more, the elusive star quality that distinguishes them from other potential contestants. Not only did Lucia's performance accomplish this, but it also raised the entire concept of what it means to capture an audience. It demonstrated that music can serve as a bridge to something that is both deeply personal and universally resonant. In addition, when the coaches, which included Michael Bublé, Adam Levine, John Legend, and Kelsey Ballerini, all hit their buttons, the entire globe was able to understand that this was more than just a competition. The beginning of a voyage that was destined to become legendary was the moment when it happened. The enigmatic power of La Llorona. One of the most important aspects of Latino culture for many years has been the traditional Mexican folk ballad known as La Llorona. This song depicts the heartbreaking story of a widow who is mourning the death of her children. Because of its evocative lyrics and eerie melody, it has become a well-liked song, and it is frequently played with a great deal of feeling and substance. When it came to Lucia, it was a piece that appeared to flow through her really effortlessly. She did not only perform a rendition of the song, rather she reclaimed the song's essence through her interpretation. Lucia's voice encircled the song like a wave that was soothing but unyielding as the beginning notes began to reverberate. Her relationship with the music was inextricably linked, and this cannot be denied. In a way, it seemed as if the words were not just hers to sing, but also hers to live. It became immediately apparent that Lucia was more than just a singer from the very first note. She had a talent for telling tales. In the beginning of the song, her voice was shaking with a vulnerability that quickly drew the audience in, and as the song went, the sheer strength of her performance filled the space around her. The way in which she controlled the rise and fall of her notes appeared to be effortless. But behind that apparent ease was the kind of technical expertise that can only be achieved through years of practice and a profound connection to music. Not only was she a contestant, but she was also an artist. The coaches, who were already captivated by the unfiltered beauty of her voice, couldn't help but press their buttons as her performance grew closer and closer to reaching its emotional climax. Michael Bublé was the first person to turn around, and his expression was one of astonishment and respect at one and the same time. "I've heard La Llorona many times, but you brought something completely unique to it," he continued, his voice quiet with real pleasure. "I've heard La Llorona." Adam Levine's chair began to whirl around not too much longer after that. "Lucia, that was absolutely incredible," he remarked, his tone filled with the pleasure of having witnessed something that was truly unique. In an eagerness to contribute his knowledge to her abilities, he leaned forward. "The voice that you have is one of a kind. I wish to assist you in leaving your mark on the world's landscape." Following that, John Legend, who had been paying close attention, was the next person to speak. His normally calm demeanor was overtaken by a broad smile, and it was obvious that he was struck by the emotional depth that Lucia gave to the performance. "That was so beautiful and powerful," he observed before continuing. "I want to work with you and see how far we can take that voice." At long last, Kelsey Ballerini, the youngest of the coaches and possibly the most enthusiastic of them all, turned her chair with a burst of joy. "That was really incredible. I could actually feel each and every note that you sung. I would take great pleasure in assisting you in navigating your way through this competition." It is a credit to Lucia's tremendous skill and presence that she was able to secure the 4-chair turn on The Voice, which is a moment that is extremely unusual and highly prized. However, what made her performance even more remarkable was the seamless way in which she bridged the gap between technical excellence and the natural emotional storytelling that she delivered. One thing is to be able to sing a song well, but it is an entirely different thing to perform that song live. Furthermore, Lucia's performance of La Llorona was a genuine, breathing tribute to the musical spirit that she possessed. There is a battle going on from all 4 directions. The struggle for Lucia's devotion grew quite strong as all 4 instructors turned around and faced his direction. Not only did each of the coaches have a distinctive point of view to share with her, but the pitches that they made to her were just as intriguing as the performance itself. Michael Bublé, a legendary figure in the world of jazz and pop standards, was quick to point out that Lucia's voice could be used in a variety of genres. "What you did with La Llorona is exactly what the music industry needs right now, and I want to thank you for that, Elena. You are able to do any task because of your adaptability. Despite the fact that I've collaborated with a great number of remarkable musicians, there is something so unique about your tone that resonates with me." As someone who has always been a supporter of uniqueness and artistic sincerity, Adam Levine did not hold back this time. "You possess a special kind of magic. To tell you the truth, there is something particularly remarkable about your voice. I have been in this industry for a sufficient amount of time to be able to recognize when someone is destined for greatness. It is my hope that I will be the one to accompany you on this road trip." John Legend, who is the very definition of silky vocal craft, centered his attention on the emotional intelligence that Lucia exhibited. "The anguish, the beauty, and the essence of your being are all audible in your voice. Not only do you bring to the table the ability to sing, but you also offer the ability to narrate a tale that each and every person can relate to. I want to assist you in honing that voice and expanding the spectrum of emotions that you can express." The younger generation found Kelsey Ballerini to be the most relatable because of her profound mastery of both country and pop music. "I adore the genuineness that you possess," she remarked. "Because of the purity of your voice, I want to assist you in discovering music that will make you feel as though you are telling your own narrative. We have the potential to produce something that is genuinely one of a kind." Lucia's choice was not an easy one to make, because each of the 4 coaches presented their arguments in an equally convincing manner. However, after a brief pause for contemplation, she gave a kind grin and turned her attention to the coaches. Decision made by Lucia. In the end, Lucia has decided to become a member of John Legend's crew. The fact that he was able to strike a balance between emotion and technicality was one of the primary reasons that she made her decision. Lucia stated, "Your voice and style have always been an inspiration to me. And I believe that with your guidance, I will be able to really explore the emotional depths of my voice." During the time that the coaches were congratulating her, it became abundantly clear that Lucia Flores-Wiseman had entered the race for the voice with a force that would make her a serious contender. She was able to offer something new to the stage, which was a combination of cultural depth, vocal skill, and emotional honesty. This was what genuinely separated her apart from the other performers in the competition. The path that lies ahead. With John Legend serving as her coach, Lucia's journey on The Voice is destined to be one that not only captivates the hearts of viewers, but also introduces the world to a new voice, one that is capable of telling tales, evoking sentiments, and breaking boundaries. Throughout the course of the season, it has been abundantly evident that Lucia's most significant qualities would be her innate talent and her profound devotion to her music. At the end of the day, Lucia Flores-Wiseman's 4-chair turn moment with La Llorona was not only about exhibiting her talent, rather, it was about providing the world with a glimpse into an artist who is just starting to make her imprint. Lucia's future is unquestionably going to be just as bright as her voice, thanks to the counsel of John Legend and the backing of a team that is filled with a tremendous amount of ability. The voice coach Adam Levine has a strong track record with 4-chair turns. Levine and Legend both seem to consider themselves the winners of 4-chair turns, and Levine certainly had gotten his fair share of them this season. He basically begged for Ethan Eckenrode during the season premiere, telling the singer, "You have an effortless thing that you do that is so soulful and so simple. You have my favorite voice that I have heard so far this entire blind audition round. It would be a tragedy if you weren't on my team." That tragedy, thankfully, did not come to pass, as Eckenrode accepted Levine's offer to join Team Adam. In the same episode, he wooed Grace Miller Moody after she got 4 chairs for the gutsy move of singing a Maroon 5 song. Now with Flores-Wiseman on his roster, the original coach is definitely back with a vengeance.